Hello, welcome in. All right, we're going to pull up some cards for our subscribers as well. If you would like to do a full reading, they're $35. All right, so let's set the intention that we get exactly what we need in this space. I don't know what's going on right now in the energy, but it does feel a little bit like I'm going to say a lot happening. There is a lot of happiness as well coming in, just as some collective messages. So a lot going on and happiness. Hello and welcome in. So if you are a subscriber, we do a free mini reading for you. Hello, Katrina. And if you would like a full reading, they are $35. You can pay through PayPal. Okay, you'll see that in my link tree. I am slowly working on getting that up on my screen. Oh my goodness. I think I just needed a little laugh last night when I was attempting to make these little stickers because it was like showing up in the background. So like I'd have to move my head for you guys to see. And anyway, sometimes Spirit plays little tricks on me. So Katrina, we're going to go into you right away. If you have a question, feel free to ask. We're going to go into your Akashic Records here. So again, you can subscribe for a mini reading. You get a reading every time. You also get $5 off of the reading. So if you want to go into a full reading, it would only be $30 if you're a subscriber, okay? Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a really, really important card I'm getting for you. Would I be able to know how my weekend will go? I'm going out of town. Anything I should know? Yes, sure. So we're going to step into this energy here. Okay, so I feel like there's a lot of questioning that's going on. So, right away, like you have the awakening card, look at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It is important to be yourself. So the way I see it is when we're doing any type of questioning, this is someone who is definitely either in their head a lot or they're doubting themselves just a little bit. And so what I get here, especially where you're working on your weekend, is to I feel like go back into the past this weekend, um, and like look back at the past at more of the connections that you've had, the beautiful relationship connections, okay? Because we've got a full moon on Saturday night, and I don't know if you work with that full moon or not. I just did the full moon ritual for my members in my membership group. And all the theta healing downloads around that, so I'm just in the process of uploading it. But this is where it's an eclipse as well. The reason why it feels like you've got a lot going on is just because it's like I feel like you're sometimes maybe just dwelling a tiny bit on the emotions of like things that have happened. And so my suggestion would also be not just to release this under the full moon, but yeah, to look back at those beautiful exchanges that you've had with other people. So it's gonna uplift you a bit more, Katrina, okay? But it's more of that mindset work, of how this is why it's talking about your perspective of how you're looking at things. And again, we're doing future, so even if that doesn't make sense to you now, it's just more, as you're saying, you want to know how to prepare for that. That's what I would do, is I would just remind myself to look back at those things and definitely like release what's coming up for you, okay? All right. And physically, that's one of the things we were working on in the ritual in the membership group, was a little bit of like taking better care of our body. I kind of get that that's coming up for you too as well. Just like, I don't know if you're getting enough time for yourself, if you're hydrating enough, or whatever it is. Are you getting that like fresh air and stuff? That might be helpful. So yeah, take advantage of the fact that this is a full moon. Watch my full moon reading. Make sure you do that ritual. I highly recommend it, okay? All right, so we're doing mini readings for all my subscribers, okay? And then you can get a full reading. They're $35. And if you're a subscriber, you get $5 off, okay? You can pay through PayPal. Alrighty. So, thank you for liking the live. Do we have any other subscribers in here? Why did I think that Christine was a subscriber? Alrighty. Yes, you are. Hi. Okay, so we can go into your energy as well. If you have any questions, feel free to bring them in. We're just doing a quick little mini reading, seeing what's coming through. If you want a weekend reading, that'll be a good thing to work on. Or again, maybe how you could take advantage of this full moon lunar eclipse coming up. Right away, Christine, I feel like there's just like maybe it's just like general energy too, a little bit of anxiety, but it just feels like the big thing is general for the weekend would be great. Okay, I just get like you get like a lot of like whiffs of information in the sense of like I get downloads, right? It's like, okay, I'm getting this information. But what happens is if we don't know how to process that information and decode it and deconstruct it, then yes, all the time, it kind of seems like it can become a challenge, you know? So if you ever hop into my membership group as well, check out my signs and symbols workshop and my 6-week psychic development program. I think that would be helpful for you. And also the Reiki attunements would be beautiful if you don't already have all your Reiki attunements. Because the reason why this is coming up, you've got the 5 of Earth here. So there's big change coming in for you. But a big thing is it's just like how you're looking at your finances, how you're looking at like how fulfilled you are. So if there's any type of like lack going on in there, that's more what I would start looking at to get your vibration up. So when you are working on some of these challenges, you can start to see, oh, that's just like the spirit showing me this, or that's just actually my angels showing me this. And so it'll just kind of bring you back into a healthier perspective. Holy moly. Okay. So yeah, so with your energy, Christine, the suggestion would be like there's just so many signs coming up and there's just so much information that you're receiving. I would just want for you to be able to understand and decode it a little bit better, because I find we have so many blessings throughout our day and throughout our weekends, and we're just kind of like we're not able to perceive it as that, or we're not able to understand it. Therefore, our vibration can kind of get into that weird mindset of a little bit of lack, okay? Generosity and kindness might also be helpful for you to raise your vibration. So, it like more that pay it forward stuff. Again, financially putting forward, it will come back to you, and so that can raise our vibration and bring us more joy as well. And that might seem like a catch-22, and it's like, oh, you're worried about finances? Go spend some. But it's amazing how when we actually listen to our intuition, when we're getting that message and we do it, how it comes in. It's amazing. So there's this trust factor component that's really coming in. And so it feels like there's that little bit of anxiety creeping in. But then it's like, again, if you could see what was really happening, I feel like you wouldn't feel anxious at all. I think you'd feel very like fortunate and be like, oh, that's so beautiful that this is happening. Okay, so just little tweaks. Again, if you want to work together as well one-on-one, I have $5 off for my subscribers. That code is in my profile, and those are 45-minute sessions, and you have different ways of connecting, but I think a Zoom call would be best for you. I also just created a package, so if you, for 360 Canadian, you get 5 sessions with me, but you get 1 free. So I also have a promo code when you pay for those sessions. So every time you book in at your own time, it's then paid for you. And so I just want to start working with some people that are kind of ready to take on maybe like 6 months of like working on intuition, working on money, whatever it is, like being a bit more specific, and then holding yourself accountable. Okay, because I feel like that's something I was like hemming and hawing about doing, but I'm really feeling like it's so beneficial to have some type of person saying like, okay, you want to go on a weight loss journey? Let's do it. Let's clear the energy of what's holding you back from doing that, what's going to keep you motivated. Let's tune in and see what spirit has to say timeline wise. And then I feel like I would want somebody else to do that for me. So that's kind of what I'm creating for you guys. And again, the membership group is full of good stuff and you get to pay at your own time there too. So welcome in, guys. If you want to subscribe, you can get a little mini reading today. Also doing paid full readings. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Also feeling like there's someone in here who just feels, again, very overwhelmed. It just feels like the energy's like, I'm over here, I'm over there, I'm over here, I'm over there. It could literally mean that your physical body is here, then your physical body is there. And I do feel like the energy, like this last month, has been more about, I don't know if you guys watched my October readings, but more of this like slowing down concept. But now the energy has changed this week towards like kind of like get your shit together, be creative, work on those passions. There's lots of abundance here for people to take advantage of. So I will be doing, let's pull up some cards for our next week here, actually. You know what? I'm gonna do our weekly right now, okay? I'm gonna do it live, so that'll be awesome for you guys. All my cards are everywhere, so again, they're speaking to us. Okay, so we're gonna take a couple deep cleansing breaths while I'm waiting for people to hop on as a subscriber or pay for your full reading. Again, those are 35. I'll see if I can put that in the comments here for you guys. We're gonna do our weekly. So 35 full reading. Free mini. I talk out loud. Yeah, I can't pin it though. Oh well. Alrighty, so what do we need to know for this week coming up? I find this really, really helpful to know. Well, unfortunately, there might be some sadness coming in this week. I'm sensing some form of loss, actually. And it feels like it's heart chakra related. So there might be something that's going on with you, maybe as a result of your full moon release, or something that's going on externally in and around you. Could be not just outside, but could be also within, where I think some people are getting a little burnt out. As I said, there is overwhelm. The energy has started to move faster. Eclipses are like, boom, change is happening. And so hang on to your hats, right? So for awakening, so guys, if you want me to answer your question, you have to come in as a subscriber, okay? So you click the star button, you become a subscriber, you get a reading every single time you're here, or healing depending on what we're doing. You get priority, you guys can inbox me, and you also get $5 off of the full readings that we're doing, and also any readings in my booking link as well. Hello, Luli. So, if you would like a little mini reading, we can focus on you. And again, full R35, happy Friday. So, again, we're just kind of looking into next week. We've got the Awakening card here as well. And so it feels like you will have some aha moments. You might be feeling like, wow, I didn't see life that way, or I didn't think this was going to happen, that sort of thing. So you might find that there are a few little surprises coming through within the week that could make or break a situation as well. This could be like between you and like a person, in the sense of like maybe there's a relationship shifting and it's not working out for you anymore. This could be meeting the man of your dreams. This could also be you recognizing or having an aha epiphany moment of your give and take relationships. Shit, I've been taken advantage of. Perhaps it's also like, wow, like I have been putting forward so freaking much. Like I didn't realize I was doing that to myself, that sort of thing. So you might find these little details are more showing up throughout this upcoming week, in the sense of like, there's going to be like learning lessons, and it's really going to be a bigger week of Yeah, like brainstorming and aha moments. That's what I'm getting. So we have the release card. So again, we're doing mini readings for subscribers and we're doing full readings for $35 as well. So the release card, we're also going into next week's energy. So the release card really talks about, okay, like I do feel like joy is going to be what is going to keep us going. That's what's going to keep us motivated. So, wearing your favorite colors, um, rolling around in the sack with your lover, um, listening to kind of like music you haven't listened to in a long time, something like that. These little things I feel like are gonna be, I'm getting like just hearing make or break. It's gonna make or break us. It's gonna be like what's gonna either set us free or open up our eyes to like numerous possibilities. So there's a lot of mental energy coming up for our week as well. So we've got this is also going to be underneath my YouTube channel, okay? Seven of Fire talks about change of direction in the sense of like manipulation. And I'm hearing that there's going to be multiple factors coming in. So this might look like somebody who we'll say is doing banking and, you're realizing that you're paying more fees than you should have been, but you just didn't look at it. Hi Nikki, welcome in. We're doing mini readings for subscribers and $35 for full. If you're a subscriber, you get $5 off. Okay. Um, so yeah, so that's something to consider. You're just like, wow, I didn't know that like I was even doing that. But it's also like there's a little bit of a toxic energy coming through for next week as well, in the sense of like, um, because maybe you weren't looking at things in a positive way before or something like that. I think it's more of like a growing pain that you're going through. I think you're gonna see, um, yes, I'm growing, but it doesn't mean that it feels comfortable because uh, there's just so much change happening. It's really hard to be comfortable with these types of energies. And so, how can we take better care of ourselves? Could we get massages? Could we give somebody else a massage so it feels like romance? Is going to also again make or break us. That's what's coming up. I think if you're not feeling those connections with certain people, it's just going to be the end of a situation. Okay, so when I get people coming on here, are so and so and I going to reconcile, la la la, whatever they say. This is kind of like going to be a big epiphany for you in terms of like where we're really going. And also, reaching out to other people is important. So maybe you haven't reached out to a friend in a while. This would be a great time, especially this weekend as well. Okay. So again, doing mini readings for our subscribers, full readings for $35. Um, and so if you're asking a question, just make sure that you're a subscriber already, okay? And again, once I see your PayPal, you can just put paid once you've done that, but it'll pop up on my screen here too, okay? So Ace of Earth. This is talking about you developing a backbone as well. So you might find that it could be that you're just like, I'm so done with this. But it doesn't feel like it's coming from an angry spot. It's coming from awareness. It's coming from like you being more aware of this over the weeks, that sort of thing. So if you've been listening to my weeklies, maybe go back to some of those weeklies underneath my YouTube channel and see, oh, okay, this happened or that happened, and you can kind of piece it together a little bit better. Because again, even if we're in that overwhelming energy, when we get readings and when there's a lot going on, you're getting a lot of information, we don't really process things the same way, right? So, Luli, professionally, am I on the right path? I feel like it's like you're really working on everything being fair, I feel. Like fair for you, fair for others. I think it's time to really accept what it is that you truly want, because I see you pursuing your dreams. Okay? Nine of Fire, so we'll kind of tie this in with our weekly energy. Nine of Fire is when we're just like, we just have to like push a little bit harder. That's someone who's fighting for what they want. They're persevering more. They're um, saving for a rainy day. Like they know that they have to do certain things, so they're doing that. But I just get that, um, like you are just starting to realize, like, hey, I'm important. I matter. I want this. I need that. And it kind of feels like a professionally selfish time for you. So it's not always about making this person happy or making that person happy. Okay, I don't know if you relate to that at all. But again, the full moon ritual I just did, so I'll be uploading that soon and it'll be underneath the website for you too. I think you're really going to connect to those theta healing downloads for the full moon, okay? Yeah, so it's you time. And so, yeah, I think we do that a lot with work. I know that's what I'm stepping into as well. I'm like, okay, these are paid readings. And that can be hard if that's not your style, if you're a person who um, cares a lot about other people. But again, we're most important in our own life. And so, what's going on there when we're not valuing ourselves financially, emotionally, that sort of thing, because our time is really important too. And so, it takes a really strong individual to stand up for themselves and create boundaries and things like that. So, be proud of yourself for all the hard work you've already been doing thus far. I do still sense a lot of work ahead, but be proud of yourself for your accomplishments for sure. Okay. And there's someone else here as well, Nikki. So anybody who's subscribed gets a little free mini reading, and then 35 for a full. Again, I will be popping these things up on the screen so that I don't have to repeat myself because I'm even getting on my own nerves. Okay, so family's also coming in for our following week. We've got some people who are just kind of dicks, I feel. And I feel like you're like, just, oh, that person's such a douche, or that person's such a dick. And I don't know why that's coming up, but it's this like serious negative thing. And it just feels like it's like, dude, mind your own business, F off, that sort of thing. And I'm normally not this personality, but I think it's okay to feel negative feelings as well. So if you are a person who feels like, oh, I want to be Mrs. Nice Person or Mr. Nice Person, things like that, it's almost like the energy is going to start to flow better and you're just going to be more of the way that the situation is. And I don't see you sugarcoating things. So a lot of throat chakra and heart chakra coming up next week as well. Welcome in. You can subscribe here. We'll do a reading. You can pay $35 for a full, okay? And again, girls, if you are subscribed and you want to get a full reading, we could do some healings and clearings for you as well. So 4 of Earth is coming in. Money really seems to be a big thing this week. My shirt totally does not fit today, but I just really wanted to wear green. Finances are coming up because it just feels like I'm hearing pitter patter, get at her. It's one of those things where it's just like, cut the bullshit. Seriously, I don't know why, like, these messages are coming through so strongly, but it's just like, we're done. We are done. This relationship is over. I'm finished with you. Thank you very much, Leslie. Okay, so we're going to focus on you now, okay? So bring in your question. We're going to go into your Akashic Records. And thank you so much for being here. So check out my profile for my scheduled readings as well. I don't do like a big schedule. I just do like my next reading. Sometimes I'll come in earlier than that as well. So Wesley, we're gonna go into you, okay? Okay, a lot of energy there. So what would your question or area of focus be? I'm in your energy here for your mini reading. Okay, you've got the Empress card here. Okay. So I'll just wait for you to ask your question. But the Empress here, Wesley, just general whatever messages you have for me. Okay. So yeah, the Empress talks about you forgiving yourself more easily. I see you coming into a time where you're just like, dude, whatever. that sort of thing. So this is a beautiful thing for you. I just feel like you've come a long way with um, how you're presenting yourself, and I just get that people get you. They really get you. So you've got Page of Water as well. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. So I think you're just very aware that carrying negative energy doesn't serve you. I just feel like you're really focused in on karma, karmic lessons, karmic cycles. Let me know if this resonates with you. And it feels like this is just such a good time for you in your life. It's making me feel happy and emotional. I just get that it's like water under the bridge. And if there's too much water, too many emotions, I'll just float. And if I have to swim, I'll swim. But I see you being a really great person to be in a relationship with because of your ability to kind of even carry the weight when it's not even yours to carry. Okay, does this relate to you? Five of Water does speak about someone who can be too cautious or too careful that they don't want to ruffle other people's feathers. So again, this would be something to consider as well if you kind of don't like drama, but then you also maybe aren't addressing what you don't like, you know? So just be careful of that. It's just more about oof, you like I think walking away from the negativity, but also like working on how to handle some of those like emotional people, emotional vampires, that sort of thing. And an emotional vampire is someone, if you don't know, who just sucks the life out of you. They know that you're positive, they know that you're kind, and then they just suck it all out of you because they can see that you're kind, you know? So I just get that that could be a little overwhelming at times for you. So I think that's why you might like pull inward or just walk away or avoid. But these are still little karmic lessons for you, I feel like, to work through those little kind of kinks that are happening. Because I think that sometimes there are just minor things that are going on. Makes sense, yeah, that you don't have to feel that you don't have to like worry about either, even though yes, you roll things off your back. It still feels like, you know, when you do know that there's like a maybe a conversation that needs to be had, something like that, you're just kind of like, oh shit, you know, just because I think you're always like working through so many things and just being like, this is good, and it's like, ah, damn it, I actually have to deal with this. So this is like spirit, the universe saying, okay, we know you can handle this, so we're gonna give this to you gently, and we're gonna see what you do with it and how you're gonna handle this. And so there's a little bit of courage that's coming up. So if you have any resentment towards anybody else, that's specifically what I would recommend with this full moon, because the full moon is on the 28th. That's a time of just letting go of anything. I would say if there is any lingering, even if it's unconscious, resentment towards anybody else, I know you have really thick skin, but it's like anyone who's kind of like bullied you, picked on you, rubbed you the wrong way. This is where I feel like just there might be a little bit of negativity towards that person and it's just not serving you. So I would just say release, even just if it's like one or two people with the full moon, just you can look up at the full moon and just say, I release these two people. And I think that you're going to find that that just helps you move forward with rolling with those punches and those emotional people just a little bit better, because I sense there might be one person who's still in your circles or in your family. Okay, good. And so, yeah, so that's where more why we're being challenged with that, because it's like sometimes we just can't walk away from certain people, even if they do trigger us a little bit, even if we know they're not kind. They could be like an in-law or something like that, and they just don't go away. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want them to go away, but we just don't want to spend as much time with them. Okay? So overall, beautiful energy, very, very, very minor things. And again, you can ask for a reading or healing every time you come in here. And if you want to do a deeper reading, I do readings and healings combined, and that's $35. And you get $5 off as a subscriber. You can pay through PayPal, okay? I also offer one question readings that are $30 Canadian. So again, you'd get $5 off of that by using the code in my profile. And I send you a 15-minute video on your question, which is a really nice go-to if you're ever feeling like, okay, you know, I'm dealing with this person. I want to know how to navigate this. And then you can pay for that. And I send you over, some healings, clearings, and details around it. And sometimes people are nervous to get readings and things like that, but it's actually afterwards they're like, oh, wow, that was so helpful, or that made me feel so much more peaceful if I'm sending them healing. So I even feel like just that boost of energy can be helpful. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. So I think there was one subscriber that was in here that didn't ask for a mini reading. I have been doing a lot. So again, thank you for everyone who comes in here. I was doing the weekly reading here, so I'm going to go back to that. So we've got the Empress. We just saw the Empress coming up in that reading as well. You're welcome, you're welcome. So you know how I was saying this week was very much about creativity and abundance and things like that? I feel like next week is just going to be so cut and dry that you might find that it could almost be more of a boring week for you because you might be so used to a lot of stuff going on. So you've got to create your own, I'm getting like blueprint, meaning you get to choose like your plans for the week and maybe choose some things that make you a little bit happier, make you feel like you're having a little bit more fun. Because I'm kind of getting like there aren't going to be tons of opportunities being thrown your way for fun. So again, you might want to book something like that you consider to be fun. I know I've been wanting to go to the Nordic Spa for a while. It's a hot and cold therapy, and it's my favorite place to go. It's outdoors in nature. So that's something I feel like I'm going to book in for myself for next week. 5 of Earth. We talked a little bit about money there. This is saying that you do have great relationship goals, so stay on track with those as well because that's going to help you financially. The Moon, we also talked about that full moon coming in this weekend for some of the people getting readings here. So again, that's more why the energy is the way that it is coming in this week, because it's such intense change that like a lot of people I feel like are pulling in a bit, but what they need to do is actually go out, in the sense of like telling people where to go and whatnot. Okay, so look out if there is some explosive verbal diarrhea. Shield yourself from people that you don't want to talk to. Okay, 4 of Water. So welcome in, guys. I'm doing $35 for full readings, or if you subscribe, we're going to do some mini readings here for you. So feel free to do that. If you need help with that, I can help you out. We're doing some future for next week readings here as a collective. 2 of Fire, discussing finances keep coming up. It's like, I'm getting like, if your energy is high, if you choose to take great care of your energy for next week, money's going to be flowing to you very fast. So look the frick out. If your energy is low, you might feel some stagnation. You might feel some delays, especially in relation to property. I am taking note of this because I'm working on my property right now. So I feel like I'm going to recharge this weekend. Full moons can be very tiresome. I will be coming on and doing readings still as well. I finally opened up to Sunday readings. My husband watches football like all day on Sunday, and so often I'll take the weekend off just so we can spend time together, but I don't really watch football, so I thought, you know what, this is a great time for me to open up to doing some readings on a Sunday for people, since often people are off on that day. So just so you know, my schedule is more open on those days now. Alrighty, so Justice. I do feel like there's someone who wants a mini reading, but they're hemming and hawing about it. So one nice thing is, coming in as a subscriber, you can do it for just 1 month, and you still get to get free readings every time, so you don't need to keep paying. Okay. What else is nice is, as a subscriber, getting $5 off of a reading. So say I'm doing a 15-minute reading, or a $15 reading, then I'm still always going to give you $5 off, which is great. Okay, so Justice. This is talking about someone, again, where we're going into next week's energy here. There's just some negative bitch coming through. Oh my god, I normally don't talk this way, but yeah, big bully bitch. Oh my God, that's funny. I think because emotionally we're cleansing ourselves of so many relationships and people with the full moon, it's like those people might show up in our life just to show us that we don't want to deal with them, and maybe they need to be told that, something like that. But I think people are really going to get a good karmic taste of their medicine. So we've got life experience 16. This is talking about um, some really deep childhood stuff as well. I'm getting that music is really coming up, like old music, like Cisco, that dong 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 dong, I like the way the booty goes. Oh my God. And like I used to listen to Bad Boys too, that soundtrack. Like stuff like that is really coming up, when Will Smith was popular, like Men in Black, that sort of thing. Or Mace. I don't know if you guys listen to any of that. I'm 37, so I mean that was cool in my time. So, Nine of Earth, forgiveness is kind of in the past now. I feel like I think I'm getting into later on in next week here, and I'm just like, yeah, we went through so much. Like, I feel like forgiveness work. I have been working on that, talking about that. My clients have all been going through that. I've been providing lots of help for people in relation to that, but thank God, I feel like we're finally getting it. So the end of next week, you're going to be finding that you're just like, yeah, I healed what I need to heal. So like anything else moving forward is just, I don't want that. I don't need that. Because your heart is feeling more open and healed. Whereas if we're not feeling healed, if we're not feeling like our heart is fully open, that sort of thing, that's actually where we're leaving some room for more pain to come in. So if you look at it that way, is if your heart chakra is half healed, then you're half in pain and you're inviting more pain in. Just like when our vibration is low and we're being negative, we're being tired, we're like blocking good people from coming in and being attracted to us because we're not where we want to be, right? So there's a reason why we have to work on ourselves. So, Page of Earth, I'm hearing talent and scheme, talent and scheme. I think that what's coming through here is people's skepticism is coming through very strongly next week. And so people might be kind of looking at you like, who are you really? Who are you really? And so I get that this is more of a trust component than anything. I don't know if this is you or somebody else, but trust is going to be a big factor. So I was just watching something on Netflix last night, Surviving Paradise, something like that. Thank you for the gift. I really appreciate it. And it's all about alliances and your relationships. And it's funny, it's one of those shows you think is kind of stupid, but then in the end, it's actually quite beautiful because it's more about people being more down to earth, being more sincere, and being kind to other people. And so that's kind of what I'm getting is coming through here is that if you have trust, not just in the universe, but in other people, these relationships are going to be long lasting. As I said, that's why there's going to be a lot of make and break. So it just feels like you need your people to step forward and come through for you. I do sense some mediumship as well next week. Maybe I'll open up to doing some mediumship readings specifically with you guys. But Five of Fire combined with the Empress is being really careful that you're not stepping on other people's toes either, where there is such a strong, powerful energy. It's just kind of like, even though you're feeling like somebody's a dick or a bitch, and I'm including the verbal diarrhea portion, meaning people are going to be speaking their truth. It's still like, okay, but like we want to be mindful of that because we're still in a very sensitive time. So, like, yeah, maybe it's like you can feel that, but caution in terms of how you're handling this. You get what I'm saying? Because there might be a mirror for you too when you're when you're feeling some of these feelings towards somebody else, what is that trigger? How is that affecting your heart? Is it like you did this to me? Or is it, I don't think that's very kind. So maybe when somebody is saying, like, what, I'd really appreciate it if you started treating so and so just a little nicer, please. That sort of thing. Especially if you have children, I'm sensing if there's any bullying or um, disagreements, disappointments, disconnections. It feels like they're so sensitive to be mindful of like how you're role modeling too. I don't think it matters if you're a child, how parents and children, because they're still your children, how the parent is role modeling. So it might be also a good week if you're getting any theta healing with me to work on childhood wounds and also working with your ancestors. Okay, we also have our on Tuesday, Halloween, which they say is a really great time for connecting with ancestors. So I'm hearing like from other healers, like doing altars or something like that can be important. Um, but I'm getting to each their own. Like if you're not into Halloween or altars or even doing that ancestral work, it's more about what's right for you in your heart. So however you feel you need to navigate at this time, that will be most important, okay? All right, guys. It doesn't seem like anybody wants to subscribe or come in and pay. So what I'm gonna do here is we're just gonna open up to some free card pulls while we have people kind of coming in and out. So even if you already got a message, we'll still pull you up another card, okay? So that was our weekly. That is a pretty intense energy. Okay. So we're still gonna do a collective energy here, okay? I just get that there's some sadness coming in. So this isn't for a next week reading. This is more very much in the now, just reading the energy of who's here. And so this sadness that's coming up, this emotional energy, it feels related to a lot of external pressures that maybe you put on yourself. And it feels like just take it down a notch, take a load off, like give your mind a little bit of a rest or a break. If you need to veg out in whatever way you need to veg out, just veg out. If it's on the couch, if it's closing your eyes, if it's in a hammock, something like that. I just sense with where there's so much going on that will be helpful for you, okay? So welcome in. I can pull you up a card if you like. I'm just doing some collective energy right now. If you want a mini reading, you can come in and subscribe, and you can also do a 35-minute full reading and healing session with me, okay? So 5 of ear here, again, collective energy, thank you very much. This is talking about this change that's coming in for you right now. It feels like mentally as well. So I'm getting that maybe your mind is like slowly getting on board with some of the things that you need to start doing, but it feels very slow. And so I think what's coming up here is if you could speed up anything in terms of your mental health process, this would be great. So great time for getting a session as well. Great time for doing those full moon rituals. Full moon readings are great. And the reason why, again, this is coming up is because we are in this energy with an eclipse where it's like, okay, if you say you want this, then it's going to happen. And it's between the next, now and this, in the next 6 months or now and a year and a half. So being so mindful of what you're clearing and releasing and what you're bringing in is super, super, super important. Okay. So if you would like a card pull, just let me know. Those are free. Okay. The Chariot, this is still, there's some sadness that's just like lingering in or and around here. So I don't know if we're cleansing our energy enough. I'm kind of wanting to light my Palo Santo here. And I'm getting that it's specifically related to disappointment. I don't know if you guys feel like if it's stuff that's going on in the news, in the world, stuff like that. but it feels like don't focus on that as much. It's so much easier said than done. Just lost my best friend of 46 years. I'm so sorry to hear. Yeah, that is tough. So let's pull you up a card. You want one. But yeah, that I understand the energy, I don't know if you use Sage or Palo Santo. I sell a bunch of stuff like this. Um, but that does feel like Palo Santo can be really helpful because it does raise your vibration a little bit more. Um, so pulling up a card here with this sadness energy. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. That's what I was just talking about, the cleansing, right? Reminding ourselves that we are healthy, and even though if we've lost people, loved ones, that we're sick, whatever type of sickness, um, that we're still healthy. And that came up in someone else's reading yesterday, because her sister had died, and then she also had like a cousin in the ICU, and she's struggling. And so I was saying it's important to affirm that we are healthy, because sometimes we'll sit with ourselves and think that we're not when we are. And it's like, yeah, sometimes like those basic little things like being able to eat and not be sick, being able to breathe without coughing, stuff like that. Like sometimes they're just such minor little things. Hi, Storm. So we are doing mini readings for subscribers here. So yeah, I just find like sometimes we do have to put a little bit more time and energy into recognizing how fortunate we are, even if it's not easy to do. So Storm, would you like a little mini reading? These are the cards specifically that I have picked out. I'm going to get you to pick a number between 1 and 9, Storm. And that's going to be your card, okay? Thank you so much for being here, guys. 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, mindfulness is coming up right away for you, Storm. And the reason for that is because it feels like you can get very much into your logical, to the point where you could be getting all the intuitive hints and nudges, but you're still like, wait, are you sure? Are you sure? And I have a client, if you ever go into my membership group underneath VIP, her name's Kelly. All my stuff is recorded. People know that they're being recorded. They're open to that for my membership purposes. And she's just so funny because she gets really locked in on specific things, and it's just really hard for her to trust and believe in things because it's just not in her nature, even though she's such an amazing intuitive, like a psychic medium herself, but again, hasn't fully developed those skills and tools. So that's kind of actually what I get for you. I get that you're like still believing in like energy. You're still believing in intuition, things like that. So I think it's hard for you maybe mentally to be like, oh, is this really the way? That's so true. Yeah, and I mean, this spiritual world is like can feel like a crapshoot sometimes, and that's why I think a lot of people choose not to believe, because it's easier sometimes not to believe than it is to believe. Other people might hide behind that too, like say they're religious, but actually they don't follow any religious practices, but yet they're religious. So spirituality is something that we just have to follow through with. So when I teach, I have to do all the things that I teach. And so otherwise, for me, it doesn't make any ethical, logical sense to teach from my point of view or my perspective. So that's what I think that you're working on, is living that more true, authentic life. And it's not easy. So I would say, like, if you feel like you're back and forth questioning, is this real? Is this not real? If it's skepticism, I already did the weekly reading in here earlier for next week. So I'm going to record, this is recording, and then I'm going to put it underneath my YouTube channel as well. And you can watch that because skepticism is also coming up, and it's related to trust. Okay. So obviously there's going to be connections there for you. So we have Page of Fire here for you, Storm, as well. Again, these are just mini readings. If you want a full reading, they're $35. You can pay in PayPal as well. So you'll see that in my profile. If you're a subscriber, you get $5 off, which is great. So it would only be $30. And if you're a subscriber, you get a mini reading and a reading every time you come on. So this resonates so much. Thank you. You're welcome. And so the card that I actually picked for you, you picked the Page of Fire, news of an exciting new endeavor, use your originality and ingenuity, outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous. Hi, Hesh. So feel free to ask a question and receive a little mini reading while you're here. But I picked for you, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless night, sign of air. Okay. So just to give you an idea of like you're putting a lot of good energy out there, but unconsciously there's still some of those fears. So if you wanted to come in now and do a full reading, Storm, we could do some clearings and healings around that. Hello. Otherwise, again, a one-on-one or a one question reading that I send to you might be helpful through my booking link. Okay. So make sure you use the promo code underneath my profile if you do choose to do that. Also, guys, check out the full moon reading that I pinned underneath my profile as well. All right, Hush. So we're going to go into you. I'm going to go into your Akashic records here. Alrighty. So do you have a question? Okay. Do you have a question? Because one of the things that comes up here is I just feel like one of the things that's been coming up in the full moon ritual and theta healing downloads I did for our membership group, I'm just downloading that after I get off here, is there's resistance with this full moon. There's resistance to the changes that are coming in. So I feel like you really, I do feel like you get drained sometimes, like when the full moon is full, and there's a lot going on, but I don't know if you're aware of the extent of how drained you get when there is a full moon. So you might be still doing all your everyday regular things, and then maybe it's like, oh, it's the full moon. So I kind of get to be a little bit more connected to the moon in that sense, because actually it's your body telling you, oh, I'm releasing these things. I'm feeling emotional because there's more triggers and things like that. So I see you kind of not just connecting to the moon, but just tuning in a bit more and realizing, oh, okay, my energy's not drained because of this person. My energy's drained because I'm made up of 80% water and there's a full moon. And so just like the tides are going back and forth, my physical body is also going through that. So if we're having sleeping issues and things, you know, we're supposed to be around a full moon using our intuition, not our logical brain. So your logical brain might be like, oh, I'm tired from work. I'm tired because of this person. I'm not sleeping because of my pillow. You get what I'm saying? So it's just maybe tuning in a little bit deeper to what is actually going on, which is what you're doing here by coming in. You've got Four of Earth. Okay, this is just you kind of in that push and pull mindset right now. It's like, okay, even if you want everything to be balanced, it kind of feels like it can be overcompensating at times. Like I want everything to be equal. I don't know if you're anal about finances, but the Four of Earth talks about someone who will only just put forward just so much to keep security, to have that security blanket, or to have that heart wall, even whatever it is, to make sure I don't get hurt. And so I would be very aware of that, of like being a little too cut and dry right now, because this is very much a time of flow. So the full moon can also teach us to release, let go, be wild and be free, howl at that moon, take a drum and do some drumming, that sort of thing. You know, do some, I don't know why, but I'm getting like Highland dancing. So, you know, honoring also, for some reason, our ancestors are coming up. And yeah, I think if you were to get a in-depth reading, I would want to go into your ancestral lineage and genetics, your DNA, and see what would be coming up to clear and what would be there to help you. I feel like there's a touch of past life in there, but it feels more like genetics and ancestral healing that you're working on right now, okay? You've got Six of Fire. You're doing so much here. You really are, and that's what it's saying. Other people are seeing your hard work, but maybe you're not seeing your own hard work, okay? So be mindful of that. If you're not rewarding yourself because this is a Taurus full moon. This is all about your five senses. So food has really been coming up for a lot of people. Get the sushi, get the cookies, whatever, get the chips, whatever it is, because there's so much pleasure with this full moon. It's an earth moon too. So being outside, appreciating nature. I even feel like the crystals are going to be coming up and a little stronger for people if you're into crystals. So make sure you put those underneath the moon. And moon water has also been coming up for people as well in my membership group underneath healing tools, because we do those on the 21st of every month. I talk about moon water in one of those. And the other thing that was coming up on the 21st of this month in the healing tools videos that I do, because you can watch those at your own time. So it's just a monthly feed to get in there. There's so much stuff. But it was anxiety and money was coming up for people. So I hope you found that helpful. Again, full readings are $35, mini readings are for subscribers. And then I was just kind of doing general messages. I'm also, because I did the weekly here, I'm going to be putting that underneath my YouTube, so feel free to watch that. There might be some other readings in and around that, as you're going to see. But I still think that there are going to be messages in all those readings for us as well. So I'm getting 2 cards. I feel like there is one person that wants to come in as a subscriber, or a subscriber who's listening. So feel free to come on in. You get readings every time you come in here. Yes, thank you. I don't sleep much. Yes. So that might be a little bit more related to the element of the moon right now. So I'm getting for you, Hej, I don't know if you work with herbs, but I think like lavender, I also sell stuff like this, but I am working on just getting things more up online, so I can recommend these things to you and just be like, here, buy this kind of thing, because right now I have to, we have to inbox each other and I have to give you information. But a lavender pillow, whether that's over your face or under your head, or like in your pillowcase is kind of how I see it, like a little bit of lavender. I think that could actually really help you where you are quite sensitive. And so you could even set the intention that this lavender relaxes you, I also make lavender hydrosol. So I take a crap ton of lavender, put it in my distiller. It makes a really that one has like cinnamon in it. And actually I charged this one up underneath the full moon, with a bunch of crystals. But yeah, like stuff like that. And then I'll charge it with like Reiki healing, and I'll do theta healing on the product and ask for that to like release things. So if you do ever want me to make you a product specifically for sleep, I can do that. I also make tinctures and things like that for sleep if people aren't on medication. Because once you're on medication, tinctures and like herbal products there are contraindications. So just something to keep in mind. But the natural route is absolutely the way to go. Where you're sensitive, it will have a strong impact on you. You don't have to believe in that for it to be effective either, which is great. So we've got the moon card here as a collective energy. A lot of sadness still lingering in here. Maybe Joanna is still... You're welcome. Yeah, maybe Joanna's still floating in and around here. We've got life experience coming in as well. So I get like... You're going to have a lot of people from your past coming in. We've got the balance card here as well. So just be mindful of that as we trickle into next week. Take what I said with a grain of salt, but also be mindful that these things could be coming up. So again, if you need some sleepy time, medicine, get that or let me know. Taking extra care of your physical body, but still treating yourself where we have unity. Those trustworthy relationships are definitely going to be coming in. I do sense there was someone who's supposed to come in as a subscriber. I literally have 2 cards and I'm being told that there is someone. So is there anyone watching that's not subscribed that is hemming and hawing about that? I can pull you up a card if you want. Are you here and you haven't gotten a message? Subscriber or not subscriber? No, looks like everybody's done. All right, then these cards are going to be for me. Yay! Six of Earth. Okay. Six of Earth is talking about the give and take with finances and exchanges, which is interesting because I've been doing pay it forward and random acts of kindness since October 11th. And I had a friend that passed away of cancer, and on her birthday, October 11th, she wanted everybody to do random acts of kindness. And so when I do that on her birthday, it reminds me of the importance of that flow of doing random acts of kindness and seeing the happiness and the joy that it doesn't just do for one person, but it does for multiple people. And there's so much negativity going on in the world right now that we need more people just being nice. I'm also feeling like there's someone who has allergies or sensitivities, so maybe getting that looked at. And there's also someone who, I don't know if like you really like pizza, but pizza's very grounding as well, so maybe that would be a food treat for you. So the Magician card also talks about mentorship, okay? Hi, Star Child, so we're doing mini readings here. So if you would like one, just let me know. I saw that you were online. I was just passing through quickly, so I gave you some taps on your screen, but it was really nice to see your face on there, so I'm really, really proud of you. Also, I just decided to do a package of 5 sessions, so where you get a free session. So when you pay, it's 360 Canadian, and you get a code, so when you go to book your sessions in, you don't have to pay when you get those sessions. And yeah, and you get a free one that way too. So I was kind of thinking of you when I created that, because I know there are people who kind of need that continuous support so they can kind of hold themselves accountable. Okay, so that's a new thing I have in my Linktree. It says you're going to lose your subscription benefits soon. So I don't know if are you still a subscriber, Star Child? It's not coming up as read beside your name. Hey, puppy dog. Thank you. You're welcome. That is so awesome. As soon as payday comes around, I'm going to do that package. Okay. Sounds great. Yeah, it's not coming up as read, so I think you might need to resubscribe there. Yes, what I like about the continuous flow of sessions is it's like we start to look forward to getting our healing a bit more. When we have stuff coming up, we can kind of take mental note of it or write it down and say, okay, I'm going to address this when I go into my session. Instead, I feel like sometimes things pile up, and then, you know, we think we can handle it ourselves. Next thing we know, we're having a breakdown. That's totally never happened to me. Kidding. Hi, little puppy. Okay, perfect. So we're going to go into your Akashic Records here. Okay, thank you for resubscribing. Yes, it's been a month. All right. Take a few deep breaths with me if you don't mind. Okay. I see you looking back just a little bit, okay? And the reason why this is coming up is it just feels like there's just a lot of internal chatter, okay? And how can we release that? Okay, how can we release that? Okay, so you've got the 7 of fire. When we see 7, this is still continuously doing your spiritual practices. As you're saying, you're walking into doing more of that. I see you teaching, as well. So I think that like these psychic readings are really, really important for you to keep practicing, because I feel like you're really good at it, but the practice piece is what's going to make you get better. And so I would say in terms of finances, I know you're looking for stability, but what I'm getting is that practice of improving that skill over and over will allow you to come leaps and bounds. So once you feel really, really confident in your skill set, that's when the bigger money is going to come in. Okay. Excuse me. So that's something definitely as we're working together we can definitely build up your confidence, your self-worth, your self-esteem, and all of those things for sure. And again, that membership group that I have also has a lot of stuff in there related to the things that, like, a lot of the stuff that you're working on too. So the other thing too is like PTSD, trauma, stuff like that here is definitely something worth noting. And a lot of times people, um, you know, have a lot of shame or guilt around their trauma. You did that for me during our session the other day. My confidence skyrocketed. Awesome. I'm so glad. Yeah, and it's just so nice to like um yesterday I was talking about how, when we're working on somebody else, we never attach ourselves to the outcome of somebody else's stuff, right? We don't involve our ego in anything. We pass over messages, we offer healing. But it is still nice to hear people's success stories and see them succeeding. You get what I'm saying? Like we don't need it, but it's also wonderful to see someone's happiness or joy or appreciation and gratitude, just that they believe in themselves, right? That they're motivated, but I'm going to keep trusting that the inspiration is coming in, okay? You're also working on sales, I feel. You've got Four of Ear. Uh, what's going to happen in terms of your sales, your marketing tools? It's more about, I'm getting who you're calling in, okay? So you want to call in people who are living more in the present. Okay, so for instance, people on TikTok, like yourself, you are a person who's living in the present. You're like, oh, I'm gonna do this. And you're saying this here in the now. So it's awesome because that's you really breathing in what you're meant to be breathing in, which is now. And I think you're aware that it's like, okay, if I really live in the now, it'll actually make me more aware of what I need to let go of or what I'm releasing. If I really live in the now, it'll really allow me to have these premonitions and know what to do. And I think that's something you're not giving yourself enough credit for, is being in the now and being present. And so when you start to give yourself more credit for doing that, you're going to start calling in your soul tribe, your soul people into your space, because you're going to be vibrating that, and then those are going to be the people too. Make sense? You know how we're like soul aligned? Same concept, okay? So that's kind of what you needed to hear in your mini reading. Full readings are $35. If you're a subscriber, you get $5 off. And don't forget, guys, there's a promo code underneath my profile to get readings through my booking link as well. All right, I'm going to pull up one more card. If nobody else is coming in as a subscriber or paying for a reading, I may or may not be back on today. I have, of course, things that I need to do. But if I have that opportunity, I will absolutely be back on here. So make sure you give me a follow if you're not following already. And stay tuned for more readings when I put that up underneath my profile. So 8 of Pentacles, this is really talking about talents, gifts. She is amazing. Much love to you, Robin. Thank you very much. This is talking about talents and gifts, as we were just discussing, right? Sometimes we feel like we can't turn a hobby into a career. We absolutely can. So that card is just giving you confirmation that if you also do card readings, or if you're also working on your psychic gifts, you absolutely can make money as well. This can be something that you could absolutely bring in income with, okay? So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Oh, I love that you're sending me roses. one more card. Hi, Jacqueline. So you can come in as a subscriber, get a mini reading if you would like. You just click the star in the corner. And if you would also like a full reading, you can pay $35, okay? So, Ace of Ear, okay? Thank you very much for the roses. Um, this is really talking about our mindset as well. Just to look at things as positively as you can right now, as we're just talking about, like that these things are possible for you. Anything can happen. Where we were still talking about sales and marketing. I feel also go towards like when you're selling something, obviously go towards what you love to do, because that is easy to sell because you actually love doing it. So you're like, why wouldn't you want this? I love this. You get what I'm saying? So you should, I don't want to shit on anybody, but you should never be coming from a lack space. You want to be coming from a full cup, a full place of love, a full place of healing and stuff like that too, right? So that it's not, if you're worried about coming across as that type of person, don't be that type of person. You get what I'm saying? And you won't have to worry about it. So, shoot for the stars, guys. Continue to work on that confidence. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you.